You got to see it to believe it, honestly. At The View, these are women who are supposed to be, talking about women's issues for women. The audience is women, and it's all supposed to appeal to women. And The View was created because Barbara Walters at the time, I believe, thought that there was no uh, news show out there that really understood the women's perspective and was respectful to the women's perspective when it came to politics in this country. And boy, how things have progressed, I suppose. Here's a conversation today about the upcoming midterm elections. And well, let me just let it run once and you can see for yourself what we're talking about.
Republicans, but what's also surprising to me is the abortion issue. I read a poll just yesterday that white Republican suburban women are now going to vote Republican.
Why?
It's almost like Roaches voting for Raid, right?
I think that's
they're voting.
No, it's insulting to the voter.
They're voting against their own self-interest. Do they want to live in Gilead?
Okay,
do we love it in the hands?
Do we love democracy or not? Because just saying that it's insulting to the voter. People make up decisions on what's right for their family, and the idea that you should have a say.
Republicans.
All right, let's break this down, shall we? Again, The View is all about women respecting other women and presenting our ideas and discussing it in our safe space. No men allowed, right? It's just going to be us women having gal talk and talking about issues that matter most to us. And, no one else out there can really respect other women's opinions the way your fellow sister can. So here we've got Sunny Hostin lamenting the fact that white suburban women are going to be voting Republican in this midterm election. And let's break it down.
But what's also surprising to me is the abortion issue.
So it's the abortion issue. And of course it is. Of course it is. If you're in an urban elitist like these literal Upper West Side Manhattan women are, that's where they tape The View, Upper West Side of Manhattan. It's all beginning, middle, and end. It only has to do with abortion. So by definition, Sunny Hostin is not a white suburban woman. She is a woman, I suppose, if we're even allowed to make that biological adjustment these days. Can I make that determination? But from where I'm sitting, she's a woman, for all I know. She isn't white and she isn't suburban because she's in Manhattan. Apparently the only thing that a white suburban woman or any racial suburban woman, or for that matter, any woman in America should be voting about is abortion, for your right to kill an unborn child. The fact of the matter is there's a huge number of suburban women who have actually allowed their babies to live and be born. And now they're in schools. And apparently Sunny Hostin hasn't recognized the fact that those schools are a freaking disaster. And their children, the ones who survived Sunny Hostin's party and their policy of killing those babies before they're born, those children, since they've survived the Democratic Party, they're actually in those schools right now and they're being neglected. They've been kept at home for years during the pandemic. Now they're back in school despite all of our protestations, and their test scores are in the gutter, but also their social skills have deteriorated. They're having psychological issues and emotional issues because her party, oh sure, they love aborting these babies, but her party neglected them for the entire pandemic and said, we were told they were resilient. Oh, they'll be fine. They'll get through it. Kids can survive these sorts of things, being isolated and trying to learn geometry from a laptop in your kitchen. But, abortion seems to be the only issue that matters. Also, by the way, Sunny Hostin seems to be neglecting the other aspect of the kids who survived her party and are actually in the public schools, and that is the transgender policies that are being foisted upon these kids. It's 7 years old. They're meant to explore their gender and figure out exactly if they are the sex that was assigned to them, randomly, probably by accident from a doctor and from their parents. And if they want to explore a brand new gender, hey, here at the public schools, we'll let you change your name, change your pronouns. We'll even give you clothes that you can change into when you come from home, coming to school. And if you want to do that, we'll keep it a secret from your parents. Look at us. We'll keep sexual and gender secrets from your parents. And it's okay. Don't worry. We won't tell them. We're your little friends here at the schools. We're government employees, and we'll keep sexual secrets just between you and me, and we'll keep it from the parents. You know, you drive up in a white van to a playground and try that crap with a kid, and you'll be arrested. But the government schools want to be able to do that. And that suburban mom, Sonny Hostin, that suburban mom who's leaning Republican right now, if she tries to pick up the phone and say, "What the hell are you doing at this school with my child? She was born a girl and I'm raising her as a girl. You will not make her, force her, or encourage her to be a boy." That mom who picks up that phone and lodges that complaint, Sonny Hostin's party, she would call that mom a child abuser. She would report that mom to authorities to be taken away from her child. That's what's really going on right now, or at least being proposed by Sonny's party. That's why she's clueless as to why these women are voting, so-called, according to her, against their own interests, because they're voting to protect their children, and they're sick and tired of her party. But nope, it all is about abortion. 100%. It's got to be about abortion. All right. So now I think, I could be wrong, but I think the women on The View actually want to influence people, want to help them, want to bring them over to their side, right? Sonny Hostin is like, "Ah, I'm trying to make a case here. I want to be able to help bring more suburban white women over to the Democratic Party and not vote Republican." So what's her approach? How does she convince these women that they're doing the wrong thing?
I read a poll just yesterday that white Republican suburban women are now going to vote Republican.
Why?
It's almost like roaches voting for Raid.
These women are like roaches. That's how I'm going to get them on my side. Gee, I don't understand why these white suburban women won't vote the same way I do and won't agree with me on politics. I mean, how can I better persuade them? I know, I'll call them roaches. It's like roaches voting for Raid because of abortion. And then she goes on to make your standard, typical, default Handmaid's Tale reference.
Right?
I think
they're voting.
No, it's insulting to the voter.
They're voting against their own self-interest. Do they want to live in Gilead?
Okay,
Do you want to live in Gilead?
Do we love democracy or not?
And I love Joy Behar just smiling. She loves it. She thinks it's hilarious. Whoopi's just waiting for her paycheck. Alyssa Farah is trying to say something, but she's pathetic and basically has sold out as well. Welcome to The View, Sarah. Alyssa. These are your new pals here. These are your new pals. And then she tries to make the case for democracy.
Because just saying that it's insulting to the voter. People make up decisions on what's right for their family, and the idea that you should have a say.
Yeah, all right, fine. Not a real compelling argument there, Alyssa, but at least you tried, I suppose. But again, cha-ching, you'll get the paycheck. The fact that the fact that Sonny Hostin, number one, compares women who don't vote the way she thinks they should to roaches tells you everything you need to know about the failures of her party right now and the women around that table who are supposedly communicating ideas about politics and pop culture to their audience, number one. But number two, the fact that they don't even understand the disintegration of suburban schools and lifestyles. The fact that violent crime is on a rise in suburbs, not just in major urban centers run by Democrats, but the fact that the quality of life, the inflation, the fact that those white suburban moms can't even feed their children by going to the store and getting baby food formula because of supply chain issues under this president, that inflation is so high that they can't even afford their monthly bills, the fact that they can't get gas pumped into their car without spending a fortune, and the party that Sonny wants them to vote for that only says to them, hey, get solar panels and get an electric car and get new windows, and then you'll get a 30% rebate on your taxes when you file them last year. That's the solution to these moms who were crunched on a monthly basis with their budget because the disastrous economic policies of this party. But Sonny Hostin, she reduces these women down to one thing and one thing only, and that is a gestating baby in their womb. And as far as Sonny's concerned, they should only vote Democrat for one reason and one reason only, and that's to kill that baby. And she can't even conceive of the fact that there are women out there who actually want their babies to live. In fact, think that it's immoral and reprehensible to have the government allow those babies to be murdered. But it doesn't even occur to her. So because you're not doing what I say on abortion, you're like a cockroach. Never change, The View. Never change.